Hey guys, Major Frenchie, welcome. Today we are going to look at addressable LEDs and we're going to apply these effects in a future pinball table. Now there's a lot to consider. I'm going to actually show you the way I do it. Once you're familiar with the concept, then you can go and code your own colors. We spend the last couple of episodes adding effects for the different items in a table. So addressable LED is no different. So for example, if you wish to have, let's say the word jungle appear on the dot matrix, it's going to pull the information from the ROM, okay? That is the difference. I'm going to get a little more specific into this, but this is how it's going to work. You just cannot put the addressable LED code in the table. It's not going to work. You need to actually tell the event and basically the duration of the effect, but all the code for the lights is going to be part of the ROM. So, which brings me to how do you get a ROM for a future pinball table? Well, first step, folks, we're going to go to the DOF config tool, which is part of VP Universe. And thank you to Arn Grimm, Digor. You're going to log in and you are actually going to look for your table. Now, a future pinball table, the title for the ROM is FP. Now, don't use the FP underscore PE. That's Terry's pin event tables. So we're not going to use those. So the one that we're going to use are FP and then here. And now, if you're doing a new table, most likely it's not here, okay? So if I, for example, we're doing, well, I've already have the Jungle Girl code created here because I ask, and I'm going to tell you the process too. On the right side, it's the candidate configuration. So while you're doing your test, this is where you're going to put the information, okay? We're going to get back to the public configuration. What we're going to be using is 4 different boxes. PF left effects MX, we're going to use the PF back effects MX, PF right effects MX, and also we're going to use the RGB under cab complex MX. So those are the only 4 boxes we're going to put information in. Guys, you're going to go to VP Universe and you're going to send a message to Arngrim or Daz, one of the two, okay? And just say that you want to create a DOFLinx mod for like the table, for example, for Jungle Girl Future Pinball. Can you please create a ROM for it? Thank you. And just send this message, and then at their convenience, they will create the entry in the database. And when you drop down here, you will notice that at some point, your table is going to appear right here. So that's the process of getting the ROM. So you need this, okay? Now the ROM, if we're gonna go back to Jungle Girl, look at this. So the ROM, here's the name right here. So that's the name that we're gonna use in the table. We're gonna use this, and I'm gonna show you where to put this. So when we have events in the table, it's pulling the information from here. Big shout out to Terry Red. Terry created the DOF config sheet, which, guys, if you've never seen it, you'll see that without this sheet, it would be so tough to actually code a table. So thank you very much, Terry. Here's Terry's DOF config sheet. The link for this article on VP Universe is going to be in the description below. Here's a tour of the DOF config creator sheet. I actually invite you to watch this video before you even attempt to start coding because he's got a lot of tips. I'm going to give you some tips. I may not have as much detail as Terry's. The link for the sheet is right here. I created my own variants of Terry's sheet. I just name stuff a bit differently for myself, and I will show you that in a little bit, but the link is also going to be in the description below. Okay, so where do we start? The first thing that we're going to need to do is to do the ROM callout. So don't forget that step because it is not going to work. Now, if you open up my cheat sheet, so that line is the RUM callout. Okay, so we're going to copy this. So we're going to go in the script and we are going to find the user-defined script events. Just below the DOF timer enable false, create a space, and then we're gonna paste that line of command for the RUM call. It's ff_RUM space, and then in bracket, that's the name of your RUM. So we're gonna go check again the name of our RUM. So we're gonna paste the proper name of our RUM that's found in the DOF config tool, like I've just showed you, and we're going to paste it. There you go. So now the RUM callout is calling for fp_jungle girl. So when you load the table, it will actually pull all the information from the online DOF config. The first thing that we needed to do is done. All right. So here's Terry's sheet, and he's got if you click on the tabs at the bottom, you will scroll through the different features or examples. So for example, see right here, he's got like examples for animation. Actually, he's got a lot of examples. Now here, the MX shapes, this is for the shapes for the dot matrix that you might want to use. Here is some DOF config. Now he's got examples of table that he's actually created, effects, and you can reuse the code in those one to add on your own. So I'll show you how to do this. So you can use Terry's sheet, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to just show you the different changes that I've done on mine. The main difference that I've came up with, this is the event, right? You can see E. So I kind of grouped them by numbers. So for example, slingshot flipper stuff is going to be the 100 series. So E100 to like whatever. And then the bumpers is the 200. Coin and start is 300, right? You can see all these ones are all sequential in 300. Drain 4. Plunger, kicker stuff 500. Then the MX shapes are the dot matrix effects. So anything with 600 in my script, I know it's for shapes, for the dot matrix. Targets, 800. Like major effects, like when you're talking about basically combos and stuff, it's 900. Rails and stuff is like 1,000. So that's the way I do it. Now, if you guys prefer Terry's way, go ahead, use his sheet like that. That's actually, you use whatever you want, right? You can even create your own if you wish. But that's how I'm going to show you guys the coding for Jungle Girl. I wouldn't leave like all of the effects, especially if you're not using them. Just get rid of them. How do you get rid of them? Well, it's easy. Once you're done your coding, let's say we don't use the word begin right here. So what you will do is you just right click on it, you say delete row, and there you go, it's gone. So we said that the first effect that I want for Jungle Girl is when the table loads, I want to see the word jungle flash on the dot matrix. I'm going to go to my 600 section, and this is for the dot matrix. Okay, so and then you can see here the first column is the function. The second one here is the type of effects. So for example, you're going to see there's a drop down, and here are all the different, well, basically triggers for DOF. Now you'll see that they're color coded as well. So the dot matrix is pink, JUNGLE. We got 6 letters. So I got a few here. Some of them, see, you can see start. So those are basically the letters that would show on your dot matrix. You can create yours. Once you create yours, just save it in your own template, and then you can reuse them. So I just wanted to show you, like, see, you might get confused. Why cisletter jungle? That's because I added it in the code. So let me just show you the code right here. See, you can see like the letters are here, JUNGLE. Well, if you change those to whatever, then you'll get the name. So that's how you come up with the different letters to show on the dot matrix. So we're going to use this one right here. So 6 letters. It's the dot matrix. So 6 letters, flash. So that's just the description, right? Flashing letters. Usually I put my code right in here, so it's easy for me. So let's just, I'm just going to show you quickly how to do this. Now the event, see 671, we have 673. So I'm going to change 673 in my code. Jungle flash, okay? And here's the event. Now the event, you guys create them, okay? I put them kind of sequential, but I could use 672 here. It doesn't matter. It will matter once it's in the table, but now it doesn't matter. And then as long as it matches your code right here, you're good. And then here, the next thing is the color. So you guys can pick from a wide variety of colors. See the lookup? Here's all the different colors that you guys can use. The medium sea green for jungle. So we can actually copy that color. Then in the color, I'm just going to paste it right here. There you go. So we have this. And here is the time. If you want to have your effect on the timer, that's where you put it. Typically, I kind of delete it. And if you're going to use a manual time, you kind of got to delete it here. Because it will conflict, okay? And the rest, for the time being, you don't really need to worry about this. The code will get generated automatically, which is the beauty of Terry's sheet, because you'll see how much time that's going to save. We're going to just paste it below the button flashing. So, okay, we have it. Now, it's important, guys, leave a description here, because people might use your table as a reference, and it's kind of nice to see what it does, okay? Jungle flash, and then I'll even use dot matrix. So yeah, so here is the time. We're going to leave it for, let's do 10 seconds. So we'll put like 1,000. And then we're going to save the table. Save as. We're going to use now 1.9. Going to close this. Now we need to generate the code for the dot matrix, okay, and for anything else. But right now, the only thing we have enabled in the table are the 6 letters. So how do we create even the code? So Terry made it like real easy. So you see that green, the first green bar here. You're going to select it, and then you're going to go all the way to the right, and then until you hit the last one. Hit Shift and select all of them. And then you're going to click copy, all right? And then you're going to go all the way to the bottom. See, we got like errors here. Don't worry about this. This is going to get fixed. The green cell right here, the last one on the right at the bottom, hit Shift and then click, and it will fill all the different cells. Now you need to go to Edit, Paste Special, and then you're going to actually only select the formula like this and click OK. See, now all zeros now, the stuff is gone. There's no more errors. And guess what? See, that just appeared. This is the code for all the different effects here. Now we only have one available right now, but all the code for the different effects is kind of put together for you. And it's just like, wow, it's like just amazing. Here is the title, PF Left Effects MX. Click on that first cell here in row B. Control C, copy this, okay? So we gotta find the PF Left Effects in the online DOF config tool. Just gonna save you some aggravation, because what happens is sometimes it times out, and then you want to know if you need to re-log in, because if you put all your values and then you hit OK and then it'll kick you out, it's just annoying. So PF Left Effects right here, then we're going to do Control V, and then we're going to paste it. Look how much stuff there is in here. Then we're going to copy the code for PF Right Effect. PF Right Effect is just below here, then Control V. And the last one is PF back effects. I'm going to copy this, and we're going to paste it in the PF back effect. Again, just be careful which row you're picking. It can, it's small text. So see PF back effects, MX is right here. Okay, we've got that. Now, what you need to do is you need to save the changes. See, it's on the right side. You cannot write on the left side. For now, this is your own personal configuration. We're going to generate the config. Now, you'll need to put that on your cab. All right, we're gonna save this. I'm gonna copy this, and I'm going to paste it in my direct output config folder and paste. And I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna extract here. All right, so I changed the background loading screen. I'll show you how to do this later, but now let's see if we have our Jungle Girl flashing. Now that's a RUM call out that we've just coded, and it should be
FEX.
Yay! It works. That's fun to see. And we've set it to 10 seconds, so it should stop. There you go. Now we got it, folks. Now remember, you can apply that effect we can leave it flash until there's something telling it to stop. Exactly like the flashing coin button. Next thing we're going to do, folks, is we're going to have bars of colors going across and also on the other cab. Excellent. So we have the Jungle Girl flash exactly like we told it to. Personally, when I first started, every time I did one effect, I re-downloaded my config and applied it to see if it worked. And that's how I learned. Show you, see all these effects right here, the events? They're actually loaded in the RUM because we've uploaded this to the RUM. So they're part of it. We can test them in DOFLinx. There's like a 905, 906. Okay, to test the effects in DOFLinx, so what you're going to do is you're just going to start DOFLinx first. And in the tool, you're going to click Fake Emulation Off. Okay, so now we have that. You're going to right-click on the window here. By the way, if you don't have this, you're going to have to go in your DOFLinx.ini and turn debug to 1. All right, and then you're going to pick Test RUM Item. Now here you need to paste your RUM, and the proper wording of the future pinball is this one right here. So we're going to copy this, and we're going to paste that right here. Okay, now see that box? It says events. So we're going to test the events for our addressable LED. So we said that we want to test 905. So I'm going to put 905 and I'm going to click test, and we should have the effect for about 3 seconds. Oh, how cool is that? So, I mean, this one, I made that one green and white, kind of to reflect the Jungle Girl, but this is how you test your code once you paste it. So let's try 906. 906 is pretty cool too. That could be like for a multi-ball or something like this, right? So there you go. So that's how you test your code, folks. So the number, right, in the event, in the Dof Config Sheet, that's the number you put in the test element. And make sure you don't have the table loaded or it will conflict. So make sure the table is closed, and then you should be good to go. Excellent. So now you guys know how to test. We know the 905, 906, which is here, works perfectly. So the color that we saw for the first one, 905, right, was green and white. And then I've got two effects here. So I've got the left strip, line 77 here, and I've got the other one, which is the right strip. But I gave them both the same event, right? So when 905 is triggered, it actually, both of them are starting. That code, all right, here is CDAS25 and AS25 right here. That's the speed. So the AS is the speed. You know, if you like it faster, just bump it up to 50 and then you will see the effects. See right here, and for the rails, 91, I've got strip going up fast. And look at the code. See, I got it at 300. So 300 is the speed. And then this one, I kind of created the same code, one for fast, one for medium, and one for slow. Okay, we're just going to paste it below the jungle girl flashing. There you go. So -1, folks, is basically getting the time from the sheet. No, see, right here, I left it blank. So if we say -1, it will not know, you know, what it is. Like DC 400, this is like 4 seconds. So if you use -1, it'll use the default value here. But since we don't have it, we're going to change it to kind of like unlimited, 99999. So because we will turn it off, we will turn that effect off after we've pressed the button. Okay, so we need to tell the script to turn that off, and we get to decide when do we want it off. So a good logic would be to see, we have the flashing button that we did there in the previous episode, and we told it to stop. So we will do the same thing. So let's copy this right here, and we're going to search for CN, BA. There you go. So let's just add a space, and then we will copy the code for the side strips effects, and then we're going to basically tell it 0 right here. So that means you turned off. So we will add the off switch right here so people know. We're going to use that code for the undercab lights. Okay, so let's go in the Dof Config Sheet. See, if you look at the top, Terry made this really nice. So these are command ready for use. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our effect, which is 905, this one right here, and this is the command to be used. So we're going to copy this, and we're going to paste it right here. And then we're going to use the one below because we got two of those, all right? We got the left and right strip. So we're going to copy that code, and we're going to put a slash, and then we're going to paste the command right after, okay? Then you're going to do Control A. Actually, you got to be careful not to have any space, okay? So make sure only the command is copied, because if you have spaces, it will crash the code. So you got to be really careful with this. The code does not get generated in here. So I paste it manually. So now I know this is the code I want. So I'm going to basically just paste it like that. And we're going to manually paste this code in the Dof config tool. Now we're going to paste this code in the RGB undercab complex MX, like so. And we're going to save, and we're going to generate the config and extract it on our cab. And then I'm going to show you the effects on the cab after. Okay, so let's see if our effects are working. So we enabled the side strip and the undercab. So let's see if that works. Oh, look at this, people. Look at this, people. I like this.
DOFLinx.
Nice.
Nice, 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 nice. And look at the under cab is working. There you go. Now the under cab should not stop because we didn't tell it to stop. It's going to go and go and go, all right? Unless we tell it to change color at some point. But I think for now we're just going to leave it on like this. And so see, the jungle girl stopped flashing because we told it only 10 seconds. But we told the side strip to stop when we press the coin button. So let's see if that's the case. Look at this. It's smart, eh? It does what we tell it to do. Our code is working, so let's just actually add more.
So by now you should kind of grasp the concept on how that's applied. So of course there are many different ways or many different shapes or effects that can be applied, but the concept is the same for all of them. So now my workflow, once I've got the automatic, effects starting and then stopping at the beginning, we can concentrate on table effects. Typically what I will start with, the slingshots. So the slingshots, I have them because I use them all the time. So this one here is the back effect. So that's going to be on the left side of the dot matrix. We're going to have little sparkles, okay? So here's an example of Terry Red's Stranger Things. So here's actually back effect dot matrix. So you got here like the orbit trigger right, the outer left, left. So again, if you have this loaded into your ROM, you can actually test it. So here's my orbit that I'm going to apply. So it's 114 for left and 115 for right. So I'm going to copy this code right here. There you go. Left slingshot rubber hit. We're going to apply, there you go, the sparkle effect fading. -1. So these ones, typically I do not touch the timing because look in the sheet. See, I got it set to 200. So that's like 2 seconds. And then I'm going to copy the code for the right MX. And then let's just paste this code to the right slingshot right here. The next thing I usually code is the side strip lighting up where the ball hits, okay? So to understand that, let's just go to the table. So typically what I like to do is see right here we have a bumper, right? So we have a bumper, that's bumper 5, that's bumper number 4. So 4 and 5. And I will basically light the strip. So you can see your strip is going along here, right? That's near the flipper, that's the bottom, that's the middle, and that's the top. We can have only the middle portion light up, which we're going to use. And because I use that often, I have it in my code. We're going to find this in the 800 section, under targets. And if you look here, all right, there's a description. Left flasher, top left. Right flasher, top right. Then we have left flasher, middle left, which is basically what we want, right? So you can see here, PF left effect. So of course, our left side strip is using this, and that's the code that we're going to use. It's actually going to be on for 4 seconds if we use -1. So let's find bumper number 4 in the table, and it's right here. And then we're going to leave a space, and then we're going to paste it. And a very important thing, I've mentioned it, DOFLinx left flasher, middle left. Leave that description on, folks, because people reusing your tables will use that as a reference. So now, we looked at bumper number 5. We know that 5 is the one on the right side. So let's just look for, well, we have it right here. So it's all ready to go. Let's look at the code, copy the code, and we're going to paste it right here. So we're going to use the left top of the strip to light when we hit bumper number 1, okay? And then it's going to be the left flasher, top left. This one right here, 801. Oh, and by the way, something I forgot to do. Look here. This is the collar, all right? You pick the color you want the flasher to be. So I'm going to actually use blue for all of those here. There you go. The left, the top is 801. So we're going to copy the code and then we're going to look for bumper number 1. So we're going to paste that code. All right. We have bumper 3. So bumper 3 will be top right. The right flasher, top right. So that's the code here. So we're going to paste the code for the bumper number 3 right here. When we hit the bumpers, we're going to have the dot matrix. We're going to have an effect. So in order to find the animation, well, you're going to have to look or you create your own. I have a lot. Terry has a lot in the template here. Steph's template 1_2. That's the one I'm going to use right here. See, I have the effect. It says horizontally moving dashes side to center, 2 colors, and stars. So that's kind of cool. We're not going to leave it red and cyan. We're going to have it white and green. Okay. And we can actually leave it 100 is probably good. Copy the line right here, and then we're going to copy here. We're going to go back in the Jungle Girl, and we're going to probably add it right here. Line 57. There you go. We're going to create, well, the code, right? I like to go in sequence, so that's going to be 641. And then we're going to generate the code for this. Let's just kind of copy this format. Just going to paste it just before. All right. And then we're going to remove the robot flash because that's not what it is. And the code is going to be 641. So we're going to change 641 here. All right. So I'm going to copy this. And we're going to go in the table script. So let's just start with bumper 1. It'll be easier. All right. Okay. And then the next one is going to be this guy here. So I think we've done enough right now to kind of justify re-downloading the code. So make sure you save your table as a new revision. Okay. So we're at actually revision 11. I'm going to close this. And remember, we need to redo the sequence of copying and pasting the code, okay? So we're going to select the first screen here. Going to go to the last one here, select. And then we're going to copy, Control C. We're going to scroll down till we find the last green box, hit Shift and click. It will highlight all the fields, edit, paste special, and formulas only. Click OK. And then now what we need to do is we need to copy that code back in the online DOF tool. And then we're going to save the changes, and we're going to generate the config and put that on our cab, and I'll see you at the cab.
FPX.
Great. So let's test our effects. All right. So we have a few things here. When we hit the slingshots, when we hit the bumpers, we should have dot matrix effects. Also, when we hit these bumpers, the side strip here should light up right here. When we hit this bumper, it should light up just in the middle. Let's just test our left bumper here, okay? See what happens. Right, see, right? There you go. So every time we hit this, this is what's happening, okay? You can change the color. Actually, I probably will change the color. Let's test now this bumper right here. See? It lights up here. So that's good. And look at the back matrix as well. That's the effect we gave. Right? There you go. We get the strip here. Let's try this bumper here. Okay, the back left. There you go. Now let's try the one on the right. There you go. And the middle. We didn't give any side strip, so this one is just the back.
Okay, so that works well. So now what I want to show you is the effects just when the ball gets created and then the ball launches. Meaning the ball goes up the ramp, the plunger lane, and goes up for your skill shot. So this is something I apply to almost all of the table-like code because I like that effect so much. It's the ball ready effect. So what is the ball ready? I'm sure you've seen that in some of the table. Not all of them work like that, but basically you're going to see the strip going up and down near the ball and basically telling you it's ready to be launched. That's why we call it ball ready. So let's just look at the code and see how we're going to apply this. Okay, so I have that in my sheet right here, and you will see it. It's actually going to be in the 500 section, and it's the ball is ready to shoot plunger lane, and right here it's code 501. So, and then we have it green and white for, we can have it whatever color we want, but because we want it to be consistent, this is what we're going to use. Let's just copy that code so we have it. You're not going to find ball ready in the script, so you have to think, when is your ball ready? Well, the ball is ready when the plunger kicker pushes the ball, and it's ready to be launched. So what we're going to look for is easy plunger kicker, which we've already applied some effects to. There you go, this one right here, the subroutine for creating a new ball. We're going to add a space right here, and we're going to paste the code. So when it's creating the new ball, right? So the ball will appear next to your plunger, and you're going to hear the plunger kicker noise because we have that already, and we have all the previous code that we already applied. That doesn't change. But now on top of it, we are going to have the ball ready. When is that going to stop? Well, it's going to stop when the actual ball leaves the plunger lane, all right? So basically, let go. Let go is our trigger that we're going to kill basically the ball ready effect, okay? So let's just look for let go. Okay, so this is the auto plunger. Again, we'll come back to this. We just don't want it right now. We're going to apply it to this one right here. So the ball is released, okay? So we're going to basically see that -1. We're going to set it to 0. So, and then we're going to add the off switch at the end. The ball ready is going to be turned off, but now we want the effect, which is going to be the LED trail going from the bottom up, saying that the ball is kind of, going up the lane. I love that effect. It's in the 500 section just below. It's 502. We're going to copy this code, and I'm going to paste it right here. So this one is a one-time effect. It's just going to go up, so we don't really have to worry about canceling that effect. It's just going to cancel itself. It's going to do it once, and the reason for this is because if you look at the time, see right here, it says 50. So when we have an auto plunger effect, right, the ball ready doesn't really make sense because it's going to be very quick. But an effect that we want to apply is the ball following, like the streak, like from the bottom to the top. Remember when we saw the let go, the other one here? See right here, auto plunger effect. So we will want to add the code right here. All right, so let's just save the table. And we're at revision 112. And then again, don't forget that you will need to recreate the sequence for generating the code. Like, you're gonna have to do this every single time.
Okay, so in the code for the auto plunger, so I added to 502, which is the streak. So when the auto plunger launches, it will shoot that ball off. So just above it is basically the ball ready. We're gonna kill it, so we're gonna put a 0. Okay, so when I hit that start button, right, we should now get the ball ready effect triggering right away. There you go. So that's what the ball ready does. So we have this, like, the color, we have green and white. So that you can change. So this is the first launch, and let's see, once the auto plunger kicks in, what we got. There you go. It killed the ball ready, and it actually, the effect for the ball trail came on. So very nice.
We're going to apply some effects for the side strip based on the inner lane. So if you look at this one here, so we have the subroutine for trigger 4. So right outer lane rollover drain. Okay. So we're going to, it's a small streak near the rollover, and then we're going to paste that near the trigger number 4. So we're good. This one would be the right lane, the in lane trigger. There you go. So we already have some effects. We're going to choose, it's the right inner lane rollover, and we're going to paste it right here. It's trigger 1. So let's look in the code for trigger 1. There you go. So we got trigger 1 right here, the outer left. So left outer, there you go. This one, and we also going to use it. We want it red. And the last one is the left lane in trigger. Yep, that's the one here. In lane rollover, it's this one right here. And we're done with the in lane rollover. Okay, so another event that we're going to code is the kicker 1. So here is where the ball gets locked in. So we're going to apply, when kicker 1 is hit, we're going to add an animation of the ball locked. And we have such an animation here. It's actually in the 600 series, and it's called ball locked. I'm going to copy the code, and we're going to leave it on for 5 seconds. Also, we have 3 lane triggers right here. Okay, trigger guide 1. There you go. Trigger guide 1. Now we're going to see what kind of effect we can apply to it. We're going to use the outer left effect. Small square, square small to big. There you go. That's kind of cool. So we're going to use this, and green's all right. So trigger guide 2, I'm assuming it will be the middle one. So we're going to use center. And we're going to use the outer right effect for the third one. There you go. One last effect that I'm going to show you. There's going to be many more that you can apply yourself, but you will now understand how everything kind of works. Like you've got the addressable LED, the dot matrix, the flash bar, the different toys. So you can apply those. Let your imagination go. This is like a creation of art, really. And then it's your vision, how you want to see the effects. That's what this is all about. So the last one that I'm going to show you is for the drain. So we're going to go in the script. Okay, so we found the sub routine for drain hit. Every time we have the actual ball going through, we're going to have, well, right now we have the shaker motor going off, 2 little pulse, and we have the LED, the red LEDs lighting up. So we're going to have something else. We're going, now that we're into addressable LEDs, we're going to go on the cheat sheet. There's an effect that basically will display 3x. 3x are going to flash. So I like this. So we're going to apply that effect, and that's the code that we're going to use right here. So we're going to paste the code right here. And now every time it's actually going to be for 2 seconds. Let's add 3 seconds here. So one last thing that I want to apply for the tutorial is the multi-ball. So now that, again, that we have a addressable LED, we're going to add something cool to the existing multi-ball trigger. So we have a multi-ball right here. So you see right here we have our stage, which is our subroutine, right, that we've applied, and which basically triggers the beacon, the flasher. Remember, we did that. So let's just add the effect for the addressable LED. So the effect is going to be in the effects section, and it's going to be the electrical effect. This is going to be actually cool. We tested it, remember, earlier. It was event 906. Copy the code, which is going to be this one here. So we're going to paste that, and then we're going to make it last 5 seconds. So let's just look for the next one, the subroutine right here for multi-ball, right? And again, we have the stage that we've set, but we're going to add this again for 5 seconds. And I believe we only had 2. I know we had more actually. Yeah, we got one right here. Add this. And we have multi-ball 2. I'm going to add it here. And we have multi-ball 3. There you go. Very easy to, actually, I love when the multi-balls are set that way in the table. Good job coding them. They actually, it makes things a lot easier to apply anything else really to it. So that's great. So guys, I'm not going to show you again the saving the table, the new revision, and then changing the code in here. We've done that several times now. But
Okay, here's a recap of all our effects, folks. We're going to stop this. This flashes. This will actually flash. Triggers the ball ready. The strip is going to go up. We have the little circle, the back LEDs, and then when we drain, there we go, we've got this. Drain again, shake, and this 3x. and I want to show you a few things here. Okay, first thing, let's just lock a ball. Look at this. Cool, eh? So I had people asking, what do you use for your speaker grill? Well, I have a video, guys, where I showed how I made this. I've got 4 different size of LED rings, and I've got a combo for this, and the combo is assigned the MX side effects, the left and right. I use both of them, and then you'll see if I launch the ball, look what's going to happen. It's pretty cool. And anything basically applied to the right strip or left strip is going to appear on here. So that's kind of how I have my effect. Okay, so let's check the multi-ball. So it's triggered. We have the side strip. That should only stay on for 5 seconds. The side and the back matrix. It will stop. There you go. So that's the multi-ball. And now the last thing I want to show you is the Jungle Girl completion. Here we are, completion of Jungle Girl. We have this for 5 seconds, and it will stop.
So guys, that's it for this episode. I hope you picked up a lot of tricks. There's a lot. There's a lot to consider when it comes to coding a table. Don't expect to be able to do this like in one day. It will require a lot of practice, but I think you're well equipped now to go through the project if you decide to go through the project. And our final episode, which is going to be focusing on the publishing of our code to make it public so everyone gets your config. I'm going to talk about the do's and don'ts, about how to go about this, and a couple of things you want to keep for yourself and not send publicly. So I'll talk about this. Also, I'm going to talk about publishing your table website so everyone can enjoy your table. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.